Communities are groups of people who share common interests, characteristics, or experiences and come together to support, connect, and engage with one another. Here's an overview of the concept of communities and different types. Concept of communities. Communities are social units characterized by a sense of belonging, shared identity, and mutual support among members. They can be based on various factors, including geographical location, cultural background, shared interests, profession, or demographic characteristics. Communities provide a sense of connection, belonging, and social cohesion, fostering relationships, collaboration, and collective action among members. Types of communities. A. Geographical communities. These communities are based on physical proximity and shared geography. They include neighborhoods, towns, cities, and regions where people live and interact with one another in a particular geographic area. B. Cultural communities. Cultural communities are formed based on shared cultural practices, traditions, language, and heritage. They include ethnic or racial communities, religious communities, and immigrant communities that come together around common cultural identities and values. Century interest-based communities. Interest-based communities are formed around shared hobbies, passions, or activities. They include groups such as sports teams, book clubs, hobbyist groups, online forums, and fan communities centered around specific interests, activities, or fandoms. D. Professional communities. Professional communities consist of individuals who share a common profession, industry, or career field. They provide opportunities for networking, knowledge sharing, and professional development among members. Examples include professional associations, trade unions, and online networking groups. E. Virtual communities. Virtual communities exist primarily online and are formed around shared interests, hobbies, or identities. They include social media groups, online forums, gaming communities, and virtual support groups where members interact and engage with one another digitally. F. Support communities. Support communities are formed to provide emotional, practical, or informational support to individuals facing similar challenges or experiences. They include support groups for individuals with specific health conditions, caregivers, survivors of trauma, and other affinity groups focused on providing mutual support and understanding. G. Educational communities. Educational communities are formed around shared learning goals, interests, or institutions. They include schools, universities, educational programs, and online learning platforms where students, educators, and learners come together to exchange knowledge, collaborate, and engage in educational activities. H. Neighborhood communities. Neighborhood communities are formed around shared residential areas, or housing developments. They involve neighbors coming together to build social connections, organize community events, and address local issues and concerns affecting the neighborhood. I. Economic communities. Economic communities are formed around shared economic interests, activities, or resources. They include business networks, trade associations, cooperatives, and economic development organizations that support collaboration, innovation, and economic growth within specific industries or sectors. These are just a few examples of the diverse types of communities that exist, each serving unique purposes and fostering connections among individuals with common interests, identities, or experiences.